Elijah, I see you've turned in the 2.06 Module 2 project, so let's go take a look at it. All right, I've pulled up your template from Google Classroom. There's no pseudocode here. There's nothing here. There's no code. There's no screenshot of your output. You didn't answer the questions at the bottom. Let's go to Buzz and see what you turned in there. Maybe. Okay, so here in Buzz, I see code. Let's see, no questions, no pseudocode. Well, at least I do have code, so that gives us something to grade. So I've got that copied. We can paste that into Python window here. Okay, let's run it. Oh, the first item on my list is Nintendo Switch, which cost $299.99, but when adding tax and shipping, $325.47 or 48, because that would round up. Second item, 16-foot USB link cable, Amazon, $19.99. But so you're ordering them all individually, because it looks like every time you're having to pay $5.99 shipping, $5.99 shipping, $5.99 shipping. So we were kind of looking like you'd order them all together and just pay shipping once. Pro battery head strap. So it costs $89.98. And then this is one of those things where I think Buzz does. You might enter $89.99 and then 101 with tax and shipping. And then you added all three of them together, $325, $27, $101. But here's the problem. If we look at what was required for this program, Module 2 project. So it looks like you chose the wish list, option 1. So create a wish list, 3 items, do your research. You did that. Think about what user inputs required for others to use your program. So can I use your program? Does it help me? Think about how you'll write an equation to calculate the subtotals. You didn't have a subtotal, like what would it cost just for the 3 items before tax and shipping. You did calculate the 6% tax. It looked like the $5.99 rate. So here's what the output has to have: the name of each item and the price, the subtotal. So what do the 3 items cost? If I order them all together, what am I paying? What's the total amount of tax? So the total for those 3 items. If 3 items add together to be $400, how much tax do I pay on $400? And then the $5.99 shipping fee. And then what's the total cost? Which you did have the total cost down at the bottom. Let's see. We didn't choose this option. Didn't choose this option. All right. Step 2, design. Time to design. Ask the user for at least 3 numeric values. So whoever uses your program should be entering at least 3 prices. Now they can use your wish list. You say, I want a Nintendo Switch. What is the price? And I would enter what I found the price for. I want this cable. I would enter the price of what I found, so, but it says in our program, we have to ask the user for 3 values, and then make sure you use integer or float, depending on whether or not they're whole numbers or decimals. Calculations to achieve the correct output. Use the string function when you print things. So that telling you to use the string function, so you print it on the same line. Subtotal equals boom, tax equals boom on the same line using the string function. You should have your pseudocode. And then make sure you use idle. You got the heading with your name date. You indent things properly, meaningful names for all variables. Then here's somebody else's output. Put item cost, subtotal, tax, shipping, total. But yeah, I don't have any code. You didn't answer the questions. These are worth like 20 points usually. I'll look at the rubric this time. So there's a few things missing there. The biggest thing is no one entered anything. You do have the name, date, and purpose of this. Great. Item 1's Nintendo Switch, all the good things like that. But instead of these being set as prices, and ABC is not really solid, variable names, because what is it? A, B, and C could be anything. Item 1 cost, maybe something like that. So when other people look at your program and we just see this, like, okay, I don't know what this is, but I know what item 1 cost is. And use float, it's good because it's going to have some, not an integer. Print item 1 cost. But you did it on a different line. I want you to use the string function to print them on the same line plus string and then I can delete. And we can leave it as the float. String float item, and I should make that a plus sign though, because plus. So the first item on the list is Nintendo Switch with cost, and then we print this on the same line. Make sure I got enough parentheses for all the opening parentheses. So like when we run that, see the first item on my list is Nintendo Switch, which costs $299.99. It's all on there. But yeah, line 20 is still talking about A because I didn't change the name to item 1 cost plus item 1 cost. See, now it runs fine. But yeah, put those on the same line in there. Maybe I should put a dollar sign after that. So it prints a dollar sign. So $299.99. But we shouldn't have entered this. Should have been something like float input. What is the cost of a Nintendo Switch? Since you, and it's fine to use your list of items that you wanted. You could do it that way. Oh, I got to put another parentheses on the end to have 2 of those because I have 2 opening ones. Some people, it just depends on how you write the program. The only thing that was required was 3 numeric inputs, which means they just have to enter the cost. Some people change the program to where I entered my list when I run the program. What's the first item you want to buy? And I could enter. I want a Nintendo Switch. How much is the item cost? And I enter the price. And then what's the second item you want to buy? That's all just on how friendly you want to make your program, how usable you want your program to be for other people. But I should be able to at least, what is the cost of Nintendo Switch? Oh, well, I found it for $282.99. And so then it would calculate at that price. But the thing is, you should have had a subtotal. So we don't necessarily need the result everywhere. We can, if we deleted those lines, and at the end, we said adding the tax and shipping. Okay, don't need the one with adding tax and shipping. Here we would say we got D, F, and G. So those I don't know what that is. Is that the cost that it calculated up here? See, I'm not sure. But if we said subtotal equals item 1 cost plus, and yours still is still B and C, but I would change those to be item 2 cost and item 3 cost. So it'll do that. But then I have the subtotal, and we would print the subtotal is, I'll put a dollar sign on there, plus string subtotal. So let's see, run that, and I say $282.99. The subtotal is $392.97. That added the $282 plus the $19.99 plus the $89.98. I don't know why it's not calculating the 99. That's just weird. But that's nothing you've done. It's just something Python's doing weird. See, then I have the subtotal, and then I can figure out from there what is the tax. I'm not sure that's tax equals subtotal times 0.065. That's the 6.5%, right? And I could print the tax. Total tax is, and I'll just print that with a dollar sign in there. Plus tax. Oh, I got to make it a string now. Let's say $290. I just put it in. See the total tax. So subtotal is $399.98. Tax is $25.99. And of course, some of this I've changed your program, so that's why I'm getting some other errors. But I'm just going through and seeing things that we should have had. We should have had subtotal, total tax, shipping equals $5.99. We'll just set that. Then we would print shipping is dollar sign plus string shipping. See, now it prints the shipping subtotal, total tax, shipping, and then I would create a total. I changed the total line, but I do a total, and I would add the subtotal plus the tax plus the shipping. I just add those three things together, and that give me my total. So yeah, I changed that, so that's giving an error. But a few things in there that you missed from the requirements, as far as you didn't have them enter anything, and you don't have the subtotal. You could have calculated it differently. So you do have some calculations in there. And, I'll give you credit for having the calculations, but just missing a few pieces here and there. And of course, you didn't do it in the template. So you don't get credit for the pseudocode. You'll get credit for all the questions at the end. And that's a big chunk of the points. But I'll get this graded. I'll get this feedback to you, and have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you after the break.